Good morning, all you wonderful people. I'm Lisa with Living Life with Lisa, and I am on my way to physical therapy. And, excuse me, Nicole came over this morning and tried to straighten out my medicine. I had quite a mess because I didn't refill stuff I was supposed to last time. That's kind of one of the reasons I need somebody around watching. Also, I don't have things on the calendar like I'm supposed to, and I just need somebody for that. And so she assured me once she gets her schedule figured out and gets some sleep, she's gone a whole week with about 3 hours of sleep. And with that being the case, then it'll be a while before she gets straightened out. They told her a couple weeks. It usually takes the body to figure out that it's supposed to sleep during the day when you work at night. And I'm sorry, it's been a while. I'm getting bad about being on here, but I tell you what, it has been so stinking busy, it's not even funny. Last week when I last left you, last time we were together, I was going to go to Indianapolis and take the boys, and we're going to go see my dad. Well, we got down there on Tuesday, and he was looking good. He was having problems with nosebleeds. This hospital specializes in a certain kind of leukemia, and I'm saying that for a reason, for the rest of what I was going to say. But they were giving him blood transfusions, and I told him later, because they ended up, he looked good when we saw him. He thought that they was going to let him out earlier than the 14 days for chemo, because the doctor was saying that with the test results that were coming back, it looked like they could treat it in his hometown of Marion, and he wouldn't have to come to Indianapolis. So that was good. That's a good thing. And so then on Wednesday, the doctor told him he was going to discharge him Thursday or Friday, and then they discharged him on Wednesday. And he was having a bloody nose, so they put down there that he was worried about his bloody nose, so he needed to go see his doctor. And if the oncologist didn't call him Thursday or Friday, the Marion one, he's supposed to call them. So my dad is almost 80 years old, and in my lifetime, I have never heard him interrupt anybody who's on the phone. If somebody was on the phone and he's sitting in the room, he keeps his mouth shut until the conversation's over. Well, his girlfriend was trying to explain this stuff to me, and he's over there yelling and carrying on. And finally she said, "I think he wants to talk to you." "No, I don't want to talk to her." He was mad. He was mad about getting kicked out of the hospital because his nose wouldn't stop bleeding, and they couldn't do anything for him. I said, well, it probably needs to be cauterized. I think what he needed to do was walk out of the hospital and walk over to the emergency room, let the emergency room take care of it, and then go back in the hospital. I said, it's like you said, the more initials that doctor has after the name, the stupider they are. He doesn't know how to treat a bloody nose. I said, it seems kind of crazy that they're pumping blood into your arm, and then it's coming out your nose, and they don't care. And he said, well, that's kind of what I thought. So that's what I was trying to tell him. And so anyway, he went to the doctor the next day, and they cauterized his nose. His nosebleed stopped, and then the oncologist called, and he starts chemo this morning. He was supposed to be there at 8:30. It's 8:45 now, and he has to take some kind of little class or something about it first before they actually start him up. But they're still starting him up today. But he's got to go through all this little information thing. And he said they told him that he had to have 5 chemos this week and 2 next week, and then that was it. So I don't know if they meant that they're going to retest him and then add more if they need to, don't add more if they don't. I don't know. I can't imagine I need 7 chemos. And then he was talking about his girlfriend's running all over the place trying to take him places, and I said, Well, that's why I think you need to come up here and go to the doctor Mom went to, and he can take care of you, and I can take you to your chemo appointments. And he said, well, I think we've got it taken care of. So I talked to him last night, and he was in good spirits. He's calmed down quite a bit, and everything's good in his world. His pastor called me Thursday morning because he tried to call the hospital, and they said he'd been discharged, and he didn't know where he's at. Sorry. And I said, well, he's at home, and I said he's wound up tighter than the top, so might have to go talk him off the ceiling. And he laughed and said, well, I'll do that. I'll go talk him off the ceiling. So I don't know if he got over there or not. I never heard, but that's good. So I washed my hair today and took a shower because my skin's dry. Can't decide if it's raining now. It's going to be nice. I think it's been a long time since I had a shower. See, I gotta have somebody around because I'm losing track of things like that. There is so much going on. Randy's in basketball, and they have a junior high jazz band that meets after school. Jesse wants to get started in Taekwondo, and I want him to take it because he's going to need it. And Aiden's doing his lessons, but for the rest of the time he's pretty quiet right now. But I did buy tickets to go see Mannheim Steamroller, and I loved them. I actually loved them at Christmas time, and tickets are for December 12th, and I didn't look to see if it conflicted with anybody, but I don't know. I may override, especially if it's pet band. We'll just go there anyway. But I think the boys will like it. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mannheim Steamroller, but it's a little different. And then for Christmas, I bought us all tickets to go see Stomp. Stomp's going to be in South Bend in February. And when I had Michael, and sometime I'm going to have to explain Michael to all of you because I know people are very confused about my Michael. When I had Michael, he was in band, and the band went, so I chaperoned, and we went to see Stomp when he was about 14 years old, and it was so good. And so this time, I have 14, 13, and 11-year-old, and the 14 and 13-year-old love Stomp anyway. They've seen videotapes or DVDs or whatever of the group, and they know what they are. The only problem is all the way home we're going to be beating on everything, but that's all right. I will be too. But so I'm pretty excited about it. I've always wanted to take them to things like that, and the things weren't available, or I wasn't in physical condition to do it, or financial position to do it. And this time we can do both of them, and we're going to do them because I've never seen Mannheim Steamroller in person. I don't believe. I feel like I have. Maybe I did in college. But Stomp I have seen live, and it is phenomenal. So I'm really excited. But I think I ordered. I want the tickets sent, and then I'm going to put the envelopes, put them in envelopes under the tree, and then make them give them back to me so I can keep track of the tickets for Stomp. But it's going to be one of their Christmas presents. Go see Stomp if they can figure out what a ticket looks like, because I've not taken them to things like that, or they've not seen tickets. So I'm pretty excited about that, and let's see, what else have I done since the last time we chatted? And I was going to tell you that I'm not going to rename this channel. I'm not going to rename this channel. Really, I'm not. But let's nickname it Living in Spite of Dementia, because I don't have time for it. I understand that I'm getting limitations and I'm needing more and more help, but I still have things I need to do. And, you know, like last week the fan was broke down and the car was broken down, and so I had to jump the car. You have to jump the car every time you want to start it. The battery's full, but you had to jump it. It was crazy. And so, and the van wasn't running right. So anyway, we went to Indianapolis, came back, dropped the van off. It was supposed to be 1 to 2 hours, ended up being 2 days. And thank goodness that the whole thing was under warranty. I didn't have to pay a red cent for the van. So that was good. It took them 2 days to fix it. I tear it all apart and order some parts and then put it back together. But it didn't cost anything. And the car I'm supposed to drop off tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning, because I forget what it's called, the casing underneath the car that holds the motor in place is all rusted out, and we need to get that fixed before the motor falls out of the car. And other than that, the car's in good shape, and so they're going to do that, and they said it'd be about $800, and I said, well, I am a year away from having a driver, and I said $800 for that car is a lot less than buying another car. And so he said, true, and if you know the car, and I do know the car, it's an old one, but it runs really well. And so we're going to do that, and then I'll have 2 vehicles that's running well, and it will be good. Because when I moved out there, I moved out in the country, I asked my dad, I said, you know, and my kids were real little then, they weren't even close to driving. The oldest one was 7, and I think he might have even still been 6, but anyway, my dad said, when you live in the country, you need 2 vehicles, because if one something happens to one, then you have a backup. Because in the city you can catch a bus, or you can catch a ride with somebody, so you can't do that in the country. And he's right. And there were days that we would load up for school and I was still working, and one of the vehicles wouldn't start, so we'd unload and go get in the other vehicle get in the other vehicle and take off to school. And I don't know how many times we've done that. And so you know, between flat tires and problems, like, you know, with it. And so there's a lot of truth in that statement. So it's come in handy having 2 functioning vehicles, because one of them's always doing something. So get that car fixed and I'll be feeling a lot better. Get that done for winter. We'll be good. We'll be going good. So, well, I'm almost at rehab, and this daylight savings, daylight savings is hard on me. Last night I thought that day was never going to end. Finally, Jesse goes to bed at 9, and at 8:30, which would have been 9:30 to his body, at 8:30 he said, I'm bored, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. That's okay. And so I thought, well, I'm bored too, so I went to bed when he did. But I had to get up a couple times for the other 2, for this and that. One of them lost his Chromebook, but I think he left it at school because it's not here. Well, I'm at physical therapy. Chat with you later. Bye.